is having a secondary reward system? That's a great question, Catherine. And do you mind my asking, do you teach lower level or higher level classes? Oh, I'm teaching none right now. Okay. Okay, no problem. So just to answer your question, secondary reward systems are really fantastic. They can transform a lesson. So to cover for lower level classes, right? You might have this one student, for example, let's say I have a new student. It's this really shy. I had just a couple of weeks ago, this one student who's really incredibly shy in all of the teacher to teacher feedback. You know, when you're previewing classes, they give notes, pass them on to the next teacher. All of them said he is painfully shy. You can hardly get 2 words out of him. And sure enough, when I was having class with this student, he was really shy. He was kind of looking around. He was whispering his answers, and he was just very timid. So my reward system, I had a robot reward system, and every time he did a good job, I would start building things, right? So maybe you have the head like this, or maybe you're trying to be funny and you're putting it off to the side. And you know what? He was so entertained by this, a really shy student boy. And all of a sudden, he's playing with his toys because they bring him comfort, right? Sometimes having a stranger on the other end is very intimidating. So, you know, they might be looking at their toys or something. But then as soon as I had this reward, his personality was changing. He was coming out of his shell more. He was smiling. He wanted to participate more. So it can be a really great opportunity to kind of form that bond and relationship with the student. Let's say that your reward system is to give them flower petals, right, at the lower level. I like to get the students to move with the reward. So if it's the robot and they're getting little arms like that, then I'll do that, you know, and I'll get the student to do it as well so that they're kind of moving around. At the lower level, they love to move. If it's a flower reward system, you're giving them petals, then I might have them sniff the flowers. Right? So that it's inviting them to sniff it as well, and they get really excited about those things. At the higher level, it's a little bit different, right? If you're doing a smiley face reward system, they might be courteous, thank you, teacher, but not very enthused about it. So, you know, we want to change the rewards at the higher levels. You can do different things. Let's say it's the same reward system. I might be asking them, where would they like to place the head? Where would they like to place the arms? And now they have to use more language in order to direct me. It can be brain teasers, it can be different things. Sometimes I like to change it up. With a new student, let's say at a higher level, there was one class where we were talking at the very beginning. I was trying to get to know her. Oh, what are your interests, hobbies? And she was saying, I like to draw and paint. Really, what do you like to paint? And she was talking about different landscapes. She told me she uses acrylics and oils, pastels. You know, she was going through all of these different types of materials, and I was blown away. I thought, wow, she really knows her stuff. So instead of whatever reward I had prepared, I thought, hey, how about this? For your reward system today, you're going to draw a picture in stages. So she would do something well, then she'd draw a picture, you know, maybe a head, and she'd show it to me. Then she'd draw, you know, the body, and she'd draw the boots or whatever else. So you can get them kind of interacting as well and building off of their interests. You can certainly do that. Now, some of you may have heard to have a visible reward system. Yes, that really does enhance the lesson because the student can see their progress. That being said, if let's say you have a higher level class and you're doing something where you're getting the student to provide the reward instead of you, then you can certainly change it up. Or maybe you're rolling dice and you have to answer questions based on if it's an odd or even number, and you're taking turns asking questions. So, I mean, you can do different things at the higher level, but we want to engage them a little bit more. Now, how important is it at the higher level? I would say it's also important because some of the material at the higher level can be very dry in these PowerPoint slides. So when you have a fun reward system, it just breaks up the monotony of it and it gets them re-engaged in the lesson. Yeah. Okay. What are these